Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Thursday vlog. I'm Lene Gehrig and today it is all about jars. I have lots of projects using jar cutting die, jar stamps, and let's get right to it. So the first die is the Honeybee Stamps Mason Jar Cutting Die. It has 6 pieces in it, and the first card I made with it was this adorable little freestanding card. I've got my little post-it note on the back telling me what it was. So it's got this cute little double jar stand, if you can see it like that. And I used with it the Bow Bunny Beautiful collection, which has got a bee theme, which I thought was great because I see this jar and I think, oh, cute honey jar. So I used this particular paper pack. It's filled with all these cute cutouts and borders and all these little pieces, the bees, and I even used some sparklets. This one is Ocean Waves, and I put them, if you can see that, right on the center of the little flowers. And then on the inside, because the pattern was pretty heavy here, I went ahead and put some purple paper that reads a little bit more like a solid so that you could write a little greeting there. Very cute. I love this card. So let me show you this next one, also using the jar die. So when it comes in the package like this, they're all connected, okay? So what I love about it is that it's mirrored so that its fold is right here, so it is mirrored on each side, and when you run it through your die cutting machine, it's already got a fold in it and it's ready to go. So I did something a little bit different with this. I made this acetate cover, okay? So half of my card has the acetate on the front, and then the back I went ahead and used just white cardstock. So let me show you how I did this. So the first thing is I went ahead and die cut. I didn't even use the whole thing, I just didn't bother with the bottom edge, so I'm going to cut that off. So cut this from just regular acetate, and then I'm going to cut away right here at almost at the bottom of the jar edge on the back side. Okay, so I cut that away. Okay, and now I'm going to fold that. And you can use a bone folder to do this. You could even do a little score on that. I'm just going to crease it. All right, and then I just die cut 1/2 from white cardstock. Okay, so I've got my white cardstock, and before I do any connecting, I'm just going to go ahead and take this blue cat's eye ink pad, and you can use an applicator to go ahead and color the background blue, but you can also just use the surface of the ink pad. And I'll just show you really quick. I just did some swirly motions to cover it to get this really pretty shade of blue. Okay, so it went like that. And then to get to the actual construction of it, so on the back side we need to attach the acetate. So like the jar top right here. So I have some extra sticky tape. And I'm going to put that on the top edge of my acetate. And also just above the fold. Okay. All right, so then peel those off, and then I'm going to stick this to the back of my white cardstock, sort of reassemble my card. Okay. So you're gonna have to use your imagination and pretend my card is fully covered with blue. All right. There we go. Get the rest of that little tape off. All right, then I went ahead and die cut 2 of the jar lids, or even just I guess they would be like the rings on a jar. Okay, so I cut those out of silver linen specialty paper, and those I went ahead and taped to the front and the back. And I did this so that because your card is really one-sided, I wanted to keep the back looking nice. There's another Post-it note. I wanted to leave the back looking nice so that you could write your message here. So I wanted to finish this area, okay? So that's really it. And then I went ahead and colored some butterflies that were backed on just white cardstock and cut those out and colored them with Spectrum Noir pens. That was really easy to do. And just went ahead and glued those on the inside along with a little greeting, enjoy the little things. And then I took some red butterflies and put those on the front of the acetate. Now I wanted to show you a different look that this can have. So also included on the die set is this little ruffled, like would be like a little fabric topper. So if you didn't want to do the silver, you could always just replace it with a little fabric topper. So how cute, right? I love that. So here we go. Also, we have a shaker card. This is using the stamp set. So where did I put my stamp set? Here it is. This is a Bo Bunny stamp set, and it's called Jars of Love. It has 5 stamps, mason jar stamps, and then it's also got a little label and then 2 button stamps as well. And for this one, what Debbie did is to make her shaker card, she used this is the design toolkit number 7. If you're not familiar with these, they're just it's to take the place of a die cutting machine. Like if you're traveling, we love these because they're portable. So you can just take these really basic, easy shapes along with you, trace them and cut them out quickly, and you don't have to lug all of your die cuts or your cutting machine with you. So I think they're really clever that way. So she took one of the labels. Let's see which one it was. This one. And that's how she made her shape. And then she went ahead and stamped the 3 jars on there. And then she also stamped them on acetate. So she cut out her jars from the paper and then put the stamped ones behind it. And then she built up the back with foam tape. And we've done this on other episodes that we have. So if you want to take a look at how we tend to build our shaker cards, just review. I think we did on our St. Patrick's episode. And then she put her little different colors, so each jar has a little different color of sequins, and I thought that was really fun technique. So then I also made, okay, so this was one, and I'm going to show you how to put this together using some flower cutting dies. These are from Sizzix, so these are Tim Holtz. I love these because they are cut. Some examples here. They are cut from this paper that is just so charming, and you can find all of the supply lists for all of our projects when you click on the product page and then click on the photo, and it'll take you to the supply list for each one of these. So let me show you how I put this one together. So I've got my background paper is just craft cardstock, which I love, and then I've got one of my jars cut out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue, which I think got stuck, so I'm going to have to use the old paper clip trick to clear this. Here we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there to glue this down. Okay, so I'm going to just feature one of these instead of doing 2 jars. Same technique. Okay, and then, okay, so for each one of my stems, I first inked them with brown along the edge, and then I inked them copper using this Basics Cat Eye ink pad. So I'm going to assemble them. Oh, you know what I forgot to do first is I wanted to put a little water scene on here. So before I put these down, I put a little bit of blue, like a light turquoise Spectrum Noir ink on there. And you could do this with chalk or watercolor, but I just happen to have one of those on my desk, so that's what I used. Okay, so these little guys, I'm also going to put a little bit of glue to tack these down. Okay, so I'm going off the edge on the top here a little bit, but you get the general idea. And then I don't want those in my water, so I just cut those last stems off. Maybe should have done that before I put my glue on. I'm just having one of those days. There we go. Okay. All right, now for this one, I'm going to put a little bit more copper on the edges here. Oops. Okay, and it's important to get the stems because when we are finished with this part, we're going to use a little bit of crystal lacquer on the inside of the vase. So we don't want those stems traveling. Okay, so finally here we have our flower blossom. Take this off, put a little copper on the edge. I really like the shimmer of that metallic. And these spectrum papers, these 12 by 12 papers that have dots and stripes on them, they're so subtle and sort of folksy. And so I like putting a little mixing that up a little bit with the metallic. It's just fun. All right, there we go. All right, then for this flower center, took a little black button, and these are from the Sugar Shop, and these are just the, oh, what are these called? Onyx, black onyx buttons. And this here's another little tip. I didn't happen to have any white twine sitting on my desk, but we do have these new ribbons. They're brown ribbon set, and these are available at Paper Wishes. And within this ribbon set is this wonderful brown and white baker's twine. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take this and take it apart. Just untwist it. All right, and I'm just going to pull out one of these little white strands, and I went ahead and just thread it through my button, and then I have a little thread and put it there, and then I just put the rest back in my ribbon pack because I'll use the brown and the other white one at another time. All right, so then that goes on the center, and then I went ahead and used this crystal lacquer, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. Come on, Lene, zoom. Hey, I did it. All right, so with the crystal lacquer, I just want to put it on that area that has the blue. So it looks like the jar is about half full with water. And if you've never used crystal lacquer before, it's got the consistency of white glue, but it's clear and it will dry clear. And the thicker you put it on, the runnier it is, so you don't want it to get away from you. So start with a little and then add to it while it's still wet. And then just leave it be on a flat surface and come back in about an hour and it'll just be dry and it looks like water. So there's always lots of uses for crystal lacquer. All right, there we go. Okay, so when that dries, then I can go ahead and take a little, oops. So when that dries, so we've got our top edge of our vase, and that doesn't look right. So what I did is I went ahead and I stamped another mason jar, and I went ahead and I colored the top edge gray. And I cut that top part off, and then I went ahead and cut it away from the jar. Okay. Put a little foam tape on that if you'd like, or just glue it. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it with just regular specialty glue. And you're going to glue it right over the stems. So now it looks like those stems are on the inside of that jar. There you go. And then you can take your little bow and glue that right there. So there we go. So I really hope you come up with lots of ideas yourself using this Bow Bunny stamp and the honeybee jar cutting die. I know I'm going to be using these a lot. I'm really excited about them. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you check out our Money Saver. We've got a great deal when you buy both of these. If you're a YouTube watcher, check out the rest of our webisodes at paperwishes.com and also all the special goodies that we have there. Thanks for joining me today.